During the conference's first week, world leaders shared their views and expectations for the global stocktakes outcome during a series of roundtables. Right Honorable Nabbanja, the Prime Minister who is representing Uganda, addressed the summit highlighting some of Uganda's goals towards achieving the nation's Vision 2040. She was flanked by the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa. Nabbanja says that over 89% of the population in Uganda still uses solid biomass in the form of firewood and charcoal for cooking using inefficient cooking technologies, and 75% of the population is below 30 years of age. She noted that this over-reliance on biomass has led to high deforestation rates, and Uganda is estimated to be losing its forest cover at a rate of 2% annually. Nabbanja says that the government of Uganda has put in place interventions aimed at reversing the worrying trends by making power accessible and affordable.
Uganda's Vision 2040 aims to create access to clean, affordable and reliable energy. My government shall require 50 to 481 megawatts by the year 2040. Access to national grid is envisioned to significantly increase by 80% by the year 2040.
However, Nabbanja says that the use of efficient electronic cooking appliances is challenging due to high costs of appliances, unreliable supply chains and insufficient awareness of the benefits. She adds that to address this issue, the government of Uganda has developed a national e-cooking strategy that is aimed at accelerating the adoption of e-cooking solutions from the current 1% to 38% by 2030.
To address this issue, the government of Uganda has developed a national e-cooking strategy that is aimed at accelerating adoption of e-cooking solutions from the current 1% to 38% by the year 2030. This includes all grid-connected households and institutions, as well as off-grid users such as refugee host communities.
Premier appealed to the private sector to come and invest in Uganda to tap into the opportunities in the country.
My government has already put in place incentives such as an attractive tax policy to support local assembly and manufacture of e-cooking appliances. Uganda also pioneered an e-cooking tariff that is aimed at increasing the affordability of electricity for cooking. I therefore call upon the private sector to seize this investment opportunity.
Several panelists expressed concern on the current trend of loss of forest cover due to the traditional cooking methods and appealed for action.
So we can also go to on-bill lending, which allows the financing of those consumers. So let's think about that 4 billion, but then cut it up into what is needed in terms of philanthropic capital, such as ours, to design the programs, to design the incentives, to educate the consumers, and then the consumer part, which is financeable, so that it's not too big a bite for the world to take on. So I'll conclude by saying that a creative approach to financing e-cooking from the end user to the utility to the appliance financing is how we're going to get there.
The leadership to bring this subject really on this big stage, because it is center stage. And if there was ever anyone who doubted that these COPs have anything to do with ordinary citizens, I think that today we can exemplify that we are working for ordinary citizens. Because not dealing with this issue has knock-on health effects, knock-on social effects, and knock-on climate and economic effects.
Real opportunities that are already being grasped. So Gecko is not suddenly emerging out of nowhere. There was a sense almost in the last panel that this is something new that is just emerging. This is emerging on the back of hard work and labour of bringing this to fruition. So Gecko brings together a range of organisations that have already been working with governments. I know Her Excellency, the Prime Minister of Uganda, we've been working really closely with the Ugandan government. You already mentioned Kenya. We already heard from the Minister of Nepal.
According to World Health Organization statistics, over 22,000 women and children have been reported to die annually from indoor air pollution caused by the use of these dirty fuels. Later in the day, the Prime Minister met the directors of United Agro, a multi-billionaire company in the United Arab Emirates, who are in the final stages of establishing tea factories in 6 districts in Uganda. They discussed and agreed on how to expedite the process of signing the memorandum of understanding to have them start operations in the country. Julius Momuza, reporting for Church of Uganda Family TV, News at 8.